good to see y'all. Now, y'all be sure and scrunch in where y'all can hear me and I can get a good look at y'all. My name is Martha California Calvert Nichols. Y'all can just call me Callie. I was born April 1860 and I died in November of 1947. I married Noah Nichols. Noah and I had 11 children. 11. We had 7 girls. Now, one of my baby girls, she died on her birthday. And we have 4 boys. Now, Noah and I, we were married for 35 years. Noah died in 1918. And then 4 years later, our baby boy Luke passed away. I tell y'all, it shook my soul losing my husband and then losing my baby boy. But I'm faithful, and I know that the Lord never makes a mistake. Well, like I said, I was born in 1860. My mother was Orlena Sigler Calvert, and my daddy was William Mansfield Calvert. Now, he had a nickname. Y'all may have heard of him. Wild Bill Calvert. He got that nickname in the war. Now, Mama and Daddy, they were married in that big house here in Princeton. Now, Mr. Higgins, he built that house for my great aunt. They were married. Oh, it has a name. Adsmore. They got married at Adsmore. Now, Daddy was quite the character. But now he came from a long line of strong men. Daddy's grandfather, Spencer, was in the Revolutionary War. And I reckon that Daddy's daddy, John Thompson, he helped to found Donaldson Creek Baptist Church. Now, Daddy had him a flair for adventure. And whenever he was 14 or 15 years old, he took off west. He was going to find gold in California. Can you imagine riding a horse to California? Well, I tell you what, Daddy loved California. He thought it was the prettiest place he had ever seen. So I guess it just seemed fitting then, whenever Mama and Daddy had me, that they named me California. Now, like I said, Daddy was in the war. He joined up on the Confederate side to go fight them Yankees. He enlisted in the 10th Arkansas Cavalry. But now, somehow, he ended up around here in Colonel Ben Terry's group. Now, Colonel Ben Terry, he was part of John Hunt Morgan's group and all that. Now, for the first 5-6 years of my life, I never even seen my daddy because he was off at war. But then whenever he came home, I used to love listening to his stories. Now, I don't remember a whole lot of stories that he told me about the war. The one thing that I do remember him telling me is that there was nothing civil about the Civil War. Now, Daddy loved to travel, and he would take off on a train and go here and there, and I remember him telling me once about this train ride that he took, and he started talking with the gentleman next to him, and the topic turned to Jesse James. Now, I don't know, y'all remember Jesse James? I mean, he caused a little bit of trouble. Well, anyway, Daddy said by the time they got where they were going, just the tone of the conversation, the details, everything that man knew, he can't swear that he wasn't sitting next to the outlaw himself. Now, Daddy, he wasn't scared of anybody. Wasn't scared of nothing. And he was even a magistrate here in the county for a little bit. Well, one evening, all the lawmen were together, and they were needing to run this man out of town. This man was mean, and they were all scared of him. They didn't want to do it. And so one of them said, yeah, call up Wild Bill. He'll take care of it. And sure enough, my daddy got that man out of town. Now, there was another story about Daddy and how this one fella, they were going to fight. Now, I don't know if y'all know my daddy or if you've ever seen pictures of him. He wasn't a very big man, kind of scrappy. He wasn't big at all. And I reckon this fella that he was going to fight was a pretty big fella. Well, the way the story goes is my daddy sits down and starts taking off his socks and shoes. And someone says, Bill, what in the world are you doing? Bill looked at him and grinned and said, if I can't whoop him, I'll just climb him. Now, Daddy, he calmed down in his older age, and he loved us kids, and he loved his grandkids. And oh, the letters that they would write back and forth to each other. Now, whenever he got old, he went to live in the old Confederates' home there at Pee Wee Valley. I mean, can't you just imagine the stories that them old soldiers would sit around and talk about? Well, Daddy would still come here to Caldwell County to visit with us, and in 1911, he decided that he was going to go to Arkansas. He was going to a Confederate reunion. Well, the trip just ended up being too much on him. Whenever he got back to Kentucky after it was over, he passed away a couple days later. Now, the day we buried my daddy, y'all, it was the biggest storm I think I've ever seen. The lightning, the thunder, the wind, the rain, I'd never seen. I thought it was going to rain forever. But by the afternoon, it cleared and the sun came out and it was so peaceful. My mama said to me, that was a lot like our marriage. Pretty stormy in the beginning, but then calm toward the end. I am so glad that y'all came out to hear about my daddy and me. Now, y'all come back. I know y'all are busy and got places you need to go, but thank y'all so much for visiting with me.
Thank you.